Ah, yes, an art gallery of museum. It's one of the most fascinating places to look at many artworks that the artist made with shapes, sizes, and beauty. Art is everywhere around the world with different cultures and different periods of history. As art can also have meaning throughout its history, holding many clues of what the artist is trying to show by looking at their work with symbolism, colors, and spaces. As we begin to look at the art today is one of the most iconic artwork that ever come from Japan history is the Great Wave off Kanagawa, or you wanted to call it Under the Wave off Kanagawa, created by the man named Katsushika Hokusai.
Why do I have to stare at this painting again?
Well, you should have paid more attention by not looking at whatever this is.
Well, you got me there, Mr. Narrator.
Oh, Goober, I can't stay mad at you. Anyway, by painting you mean woodblock printing.
And woodblock printing?
Yes, it's one of the great techniques for printing text, images, and patterns that are used wisely throughout East Asia, and part of woodcut series named 36 Views of Mount Fuji. Oh my. But this print is particularly stood out among the rest due to its multifaceted connotations that is weaved in by its historical and personal context. So we're gonna take a look at the great waves off Kanagawa and we'll experience the most wavy moments together.
Is it too late to change my swimming?
My Goober, you know you can't do a superhero landing, but at least you try.
Huh? Whoa! Are we on the ocean now?
Now, Goober, you're gonna be okay. But at least you do have some company.
Hello! Hi.
You see, Goober, the great wave off Kanagawa isn't about showing off how cool it was. It's showing the symbolism of significant change that shaped Japanese society, as they were isolated from the world during the Edo period facing uncertain futures of their greatest history. As waves represent the power of nature and the impermanence of life as we witness how the waves can do with their natural forces.
So it's like everything in our life is temporary and subject to change?
Of course, Goober, as you know, these challenges represent the boundary and the medium through which Japan will experience a whole new life to grow and learn from loss, which is an inevitable part of life.
It burns!
As Hokusai uses the visual vocab of color and space to establish the power and changes of this beautiful woodblock printing.
Very interesting. I want to know why those two are very important.
Glad you asked, Goober. Colors are a concept used to describe and understand the message of woodblock printing, as the impact of this image is various shades of blue connect the waves as a sense of depth and movement in the waves as it creates a dramatic composition like a threat to overpower them one at a time, as dark color surrounding Mount Fuji indicates that it sets in the early morning with the sun rising from its viewer at the beginning of the snowy peak, represents power and unpredictable nature could be the symbol of the afterlife. By feeling dismayed by the pyramidal shape of a wave, bordered by white foam, a wave at the end of a curl resembles a claw, that ready to strike 3 boats filled with fishermen. That's how we describe the characteristics of color.
Now that you mention it, it does look exactly like my suspicious monster over there. Let's go talk about space right now.
Yes, space is one of the most interesting vocab to explain, as is also a visual element that helps determine the content of artwork by creating a feeling or illusion of an artist's work. For example, a wave is the main subject of this woodblock and is depicted as a towering, menacing force that threatens to engulf the boat, with 3 fishermen illustrate how small we are in the vast universe, to remind us of the harsh reality of life that we face nature's forces. Utilize depth and perspective with a strong contrast between the background and foreground, creates a sense of movement for the audience.
Really? Wow! So the artist wanted to experience a lot more of his artwork? That's incredible!
That's right, Goober, and it looks like our time is up in this lovely world.
Huh? Hey, we're back to the museum?
Now, Goober, remember this. A woodblock printing tells the audience of Hokusai's magnificent art that represents the exhibition and provocation. The Great Wave off Kanagawa is not only the most famous artwork, but it's also iconic artwork that changes the community emotions on how we view art to this day. The message of its details and the lesson shows the power of nature and the great changes in human society. Depicting a life journey, we have conquered fear and achieved what we want from facing a bigger problem. As the audience looked at the print, it provided of how changes affect the world, as group of people who better understand of their culture's society, to make the balance between humans and natures.
Wow, Hokusai's printing is a great symbol of Japanese culture and affects many people's emotion. Incredible!
That's right, Goober, so effective that this printing is used by many community you'll see today to keep Hokusai legacy live on.
Well, Mr. Narrator, if you need me, I'll be at the cafeteria. I heard they serve art-themed.
Good for you, Goober, until we meet again of the exiting adventure with me, the narrator, and my good buddy Goober.
Good job, folks.